Hello and welcome back to the channel, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, it is he, it is me, it is P-double-D-E Tepwakuyan in the place to be. And I'm here with episode number 3, tres, for our Spanish-speaking viewers at home of Is It Woke?
What?
No! Yeah, it's Is It Woke? Episode 3.
What?
No. Is it woke? Yeah, like not awake. Like,
What?
You know what it is. Let's get into the video. Episode 3 of Is It Woke? We're going to talk about Sanctuary, which was Chapter 4 of The Mandalorian Season 1, and the inclusion of Cara Dune. That character, of course, played by Gina Carano, former professional MMA fighter. The burning question has been, is this episode woke? And it's not just because of Gina Carano, no. There's a widow who's based on another historical character, and of course, we're going to talk about it. Let's do it. Alright, given this is episode 3, I don't really have to explain this to you kids at home. You know how to play along. So, Is It Woke? Episode 3 focuses on Chapter 4 of The Mandalorian, Sanctuary. Gina Carano and Julia Jones were included in this episode as Cara Dune and the widow Omera, respectively. We're introduced to Jones' character at the beginning of the episode when a band of raiders decides to ransack the village, which they are nothing but krill farmers, and you really see a focus on Omera protecting her daughter, the length she would go to do this, and later we find out that she has been widowed. So adding the fact that she's a widow, a single mother into the equation, living on her own in this remote krill farming village that's constantly being ransacked by raiders, as we find out, one would surmise that she needs to learn how to be resourceful, which means teaching herself how to defend herself and her daughter against these attacks. Now, that not necessarily meaning hand-to-hand combat, but some sort of way to defend herself and her daughter. Now let's focus on Cara Dune, the former shock trooper. Yes, she explains her role and what the shock troopers do. If you haven't seen it or don't understand it, just look it up. I don't want to take the time to explain it right now. Suffice to say, shock troopers are complete badasses, and this character is played by a legitimate badass, as I said earlier, former professional mixed martial arts fighter, Gina Carano. So taking that into account, now her fighting prowess in this show based on her shock trooper experience and her fighting experience make this believable. So exchanges like this shouldn't be a dog whistle for people to complain about this being woke. Just because she simply knocks him down, it doesn't make any sense. What this said to me was she was more of a hand-to-hand combat specialist and he was more of a gadgets-based fighter, kind of like Batman, which there's nothing wrong with that. Now, when asked if she could fire a weapon or help protect the village, Omera bravely volunteered, of course, because, well, her character is loosely, apparently, based on Annie Oakley, who is a real historical figure, which lends credence to the fact that she knows how to fire a weapon. So to me, it boils down to people didn't like seeing Mandalorian get, well, manhandled by a woman, and they didn't like seeing the female character of Omera knowing how to shoot better than all the men in the village, which it wasn't forced, it wasn't really cringy, it just happened. So here we go.
You trying to get crazy with this thing? Don't you know I'm loco?
It is deliberation time on Is It Woke Episode 3. So I'll have to think about this one for a minute, weigh all the factors in my head, come up with the equations, so I can answer you guys properly. And my verdict is not woke. These characters fit into the story, they fit the narrative. It wasn't ham-fisted or heavy-handed at all. They were just two female characters who happened to be extremely good at things, and Cara and Mando were equals. One was not greater or less than the other, simply because of a, 30-second fight sequence? Come on, guys. Ignore the dog whistles. This is not woke. Yeah, folks, this episode was not woke at all. You have a strong female character in Cara Dune who's a shock trooper. You have a lonely widow who has had to protect her daughter from all these various threats in this remote krill fishing village. along with these raiders, which we got to see as the main antagonist this episode. So, this episode is not woke. I'm not saying anything about the show moving forward, what might happen in season 2, but right now, I can firmly, from my own perspective, say that this was not woke at all. And if you think it was, you've never seen Black Christmas.
We will never be broken.
Let's take this thing home. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Later. Here's where you can find us all across social media at TV2BR on Instagram, the Place to Be Reviews page on Facebook, the official Place to Be Reviews fan page, that's our private group, at the Place to Be RE1, at N80 Pete on Twitter, past podcast available on Anchor, iTunes, and Spotify, and now the Place to Be Reviews on Discord. You can also email us if you're old-fashioned, okay boomer, at theplaceToBeReviews@mail.com, the world's best mail. Thank you very much. Also, on the way out, don't forget to bitch slap that like button. Do me that big solid, would ya? Yeah, I think you can do that. Also, hail the Fandom Menace. Hail to thee, my subscribers. If you haven't subscribed yet, please consider doing so. Help us grow the channel. Hail the Fandom Collective, a group which we are proud members of now. We'll be working with them on a lot of collaborations in the near future. And I'd like to personally thank you all for joining the Place to Be Reviews. That's right, I'm Itepakuian of the Place to Be Reviews right here with all yous. Remember, if I don't see you, have a great day and a pleasant tomorrow.